don't know. I'm wondering how
I've
crude
got-
to get here.
What do you mean? Why?
Well, I can literally describe it. Like, I could be like, he fingers her on a desk.
Wants to go in the cold open. Just add fingers are on a desk. I've got 2 questions. First of all, what kind of goblet? Like, what are you drinking? What in the goblet of fire are you drinking?
It's just Carver.
Oh,
But I've got it in like a proper like 1920s style champagne saucer.
I love that. Yeah.
I know that you're a big fan of the 20s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, my personality right up there with like the Sun Tzu Rules of War audiobooks I'm getting recommended to me on Spotify.
That's exactly what I was gonna bring it up. I was like, no, we need to talk about audiobook recommendations, and I need to tell you about my For You page on Instagram and some of the reels that keeps popping up on my feed.
Feral.
Why, like, all of a sudden they've gotten so weird, like ridiculously weird. I'm getting women doing pelvic floor muscle workouts. I'm getting men chopping down wood in like lumberjack vibes. I'm getting naked chefs. I'm getting puppets shagging. It's so weird. I feel like I need to reset my algorithm, but I don't know how. Like, I genuinely have no idea what to do at this point.
Sounds like you very carefully trained it to give you exactly what you want.
I mean, I'm not necessarily complaining about some of them, but some of them is just like, what is happening?
Yeah. Obviously, I get the thirst traps, but I also get the thirst trap parodies, which I love.
Yeah.
I also am getting a lot of like extracts from spicy scenes in books.
Oh, that's such a good
Loads.
one.
I think I'm going to start to build up like a massive list of these books, but I'm trying to figure out what do I save for this podcast and what do I just go, do you know what? No, like I can get through 15 of these in the next 6 months. There's no way that it's making it to the podcast.
You know what? I was having this thought as well because I have a normal TBR on Goodreads, and that's where I just add everything, every book that I see that looks good, that I like. We've managed to get through quite a lot already in terms of like audiobook. I know you finish Lights Out quite quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Go on, tell us what you thought about that one really quickly, because I really want to know. I haven't started listening to it yet.
I loved that one. I thought I was gonna like enjoy it in kind of a trashy way. I didn't expect that it was going to be as good as it turned out to be. I thought it was just going to be a bit of fun. I'm having very serious feelings about it. It was so good. How to explain? It was like reading Haunting Adeline, but with good BDSM etiquette.
Right, okay. Yeah, I was going to ask you, and then I was like, it took me a while for it to click. Then I was like, right, okay, yeah, I know what you mean. How many chilies would you give?
Oh, I feel like this answer will say more about me than the book.
I'm
going to say it was a 4. But only because I feel as though I feel like I will read worse in my life.
Yeah, definitely. How many stars would you give?
5.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I loved it. It was great.
Yeah.
And like the lead guy from that has just shot straight to the top of my book boyfriends list.
I love that. Okay. Oh, you've made me really excited to read it. Okay. Yeah.
I think you're going to love it. I know it's supposed to be really funny. I didn't think I was going to laugh so hard. It was really funny.
Oh, okay. I'm so excited. I'm reading or listening to Deep End by Ellie Hazelwood, and It is so good so far. The spice. Oh my god. I made the mistake of putting the book on when I went for a walk, and by the time that I got home, I was so flustered I didn't know what to do with myself. I was like, oh my god, where do I go from here?
Were you walking funny?
Yeah, fully. I was like, oh, I'm really not all right. The spice kicked in literally from I was 2 minutes away from my house, and I couldn't turn it back. I was like, no, because my neighbors are definitely going to see me walking back home now and be like, what is she doing? For a solid like 10 minutes, I was just like taken back by it all. So yeah, so far it's really good. And I think so far I'd give a 3, maybe 4 chilies. It's not dark romance, but it's like really good BDSM.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll definitely have to read it next.
I might start it right after this one. I think our next episode will be the last one because I think we're going to binge the last 9 chapters in one go, probably. So I don't think I'm going to have time since we've had such a lovely segue into this.
Let's get into it.
Let's start the penultimate episode.
Oh my god, stop. I can't believe how quickly it's gone.
You know, it actually really, really has. I've got a lot of highlights from this last 5 chapters.
Have you?
Yeah, we've got a lot to discuss. So where we left off is at the end of Squad Battle, and we start this 5 chapters with, yes, 100%, they won, and now they're off to the outpost as their prize. Violet and Mira are reunited.
Yay.
They sneak off to visit Rhiannon's family, who live like really, really nearby to this outpost in a village, which I think sounds really not safe.
Yeah. Does it not put into perspective how this war might be affecting normal civilians?
We know villagers have been attacked all over the place. And Rhiannon's village is just right there. And seemingly nobody is concerned about that at any point. Yeah. I'm really concerned about it.
Me too. Yeah, definitely.
I'm really hoping nothing comes back to bite us on that account. You know, I'm still trying to figure out how harsh Rebecca Yarros is going to be to us.
Yeah, yeah. We'll come back to that.
Yeah. Early on in this book, there was so much just casual death. Everyone's been like fine for a while, and I am nervous that we're being lulled into such a false sense of security.
Yeah.
As they're leaving to sneak back, Xaden meets them. Sgaeyl couldn't stay away from Tairn, so Xaden's here now. Say that again.
Daddy!
That was definitely loud enough.
My neighbour's going to be like, what is happening?
The other thing I wanted to note down is Vera has Violet's book.
Oh, yeah.
This book that we are assuming has been removed from the archives for some reason.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that is the last copy that it like just fully exists. And that is because her mum was really against her having that book, but her dad wasn't.
Yeah.
So I'm just a little theory. Not a prediction, just a little theory.
Same. Theory, it feels like there's some stuff in that book that is definitely going to become relevant. Probably fairly soon.
Definitely.
I think with my predictions, the thing I'm struggling with is trying to figure out what is likely to happen in this book and what's likely to happen in the next one.
Yeah, and trying to like, because it's hard, because so much happens in one chapter.
Yeah.
So it is hard to figure out like, is it all going to happen before the end of the book, or is it just going to continue? But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Something else that Mira says in this, which I thought was being given to us as information on purpose for later significance.
Oh, okay.
Is
Go on.
I could have sworn I saw a riot of dragons across the border during this attack. She shrugs. But questions about secret operations are above my pay grade.
Oh, yeah. What do you think? Do you think that's like spies? Do you think that's like, not other people, but...
So I don't know. I honestly, I made a note of it because I was like, a piece of information that is important, but I don't understand. Like, it didn't slot any other pieces into place for me.
Yeah. Yeah, because we've not really been given much information, apart from the griffins, obviously, that we know that they're attacking.
Right. Yeah.
We don't really know anything else outside of the dome.
No. But anyway, that's the end of chapter 26. Chapter 27, they get a little bit of strategy training ahead of the war games, which is the next thing that these students are going to be doing. These things happen at Sgaeyl, and you hear about it and you're like, oh, a really important thing, and then it happens in like the next 2 chapters and you're like, okay, I guess that wasn't the end of the book.
It just reminds me of like your GCSEs, you know, it's that looming anxiety that your GCSEs are coming and then it goes, or like end of year exams, it happens and then you move on.
But like, I always think it's the end of year
term.
Exams. I thought threshing was the end of year exam and then it wasn't. And then
true.
I thought squad battle was the end of year exam and then it wasn't. And now the war games is coming up and you hear about it in these chapters. And by the end of these 5 chapters, it's been and gone. Like, what's the end of year?
Death.
This year can end when I'm dead.
Yeah.
We find out at this point that 3rd years are called in pretty regularly to stand in for actual troops and man outposts while those troops are out fighting on the front lines. And the thing that I thought was really mad about this was Dain seemed to not know this. I'm genuinely confused by this, like beyond even just Dain being a silly sausage. I'm actually confused because this is like common knowledge at this point throughout a lot of the war college. Everybody knows that this is happening.
I literally convinced myself that was just a plot hole. You would know this, surely.
You would know this. How does Dain not know this? This is like, it's so common knowledge that it's like, how did Dain miss this? Especially with his clearance.
That's what I was thinking. It made me wonder, like, are you playing stupid?
Yes, that is one possibility. I'm also fully prepared to believe that someone's having him on.
Oh, that's an interesting thought.
We know that Dain just doesn't question authority. Like, he's been given a higher clearance because of his memory reading powers. And, like, he just does... He's a yes man. He just doesn't question anything he's told. And it feels like he's drinking some Kool-Aid.
What?
Have you never heard that phrase?
No.
It's basically like saying you're believing the lies you're being fed.
Oh, right. Okay, that's new. See, I've learned something new today.
Drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm going to check this now, though. Because I
just
don't want
double
to have fed you false information.
Yeah.
Drinking the Kool-Aid. Drinking the Kool-Aid is strongly believing in and accepting a deadly, deranged, or foolish ideology or concept based only upon the overpowering coaxing of another.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, Dain is Daining. We also... Dain is Daining hard in this chapter.
Dain is Daining.
Dain is Daining hard in this chapter. This is immediately followed by some incredibly tragic, truly tragic posturing between Xaden and Dain. And like, obviously I am less mad at Xaden than I am at Dain for this.
Yeah.
But they're both being little bitches in this scene, honestly.
Oh, it's like 2 little kids fighting over a toy.
It's so tragic. Do you boys just want to whip it out and measure? It would be faster.
Oh my god, I died like reading that. I thought that was so funny. Beautiful. I loved it.
Thank you, random writer. Because you just called it in one there.
Yeah.
And then Violet's absolutely savage put down. Genuinely think that this might be the sickest burn in the book so far, when she says to Dain, "You want to do your job?" I asked Dain, smiling sweetly. "I mean, how you can forget that your squad leader is beyond me." I did an audible intake of breath, and I think, like, the second-hand embarrassment.
Oh, yeah.
The cringe I felt for Dain in that moment.
Yeah. And it felt really weird because obviously they haven't been completely off. Like, at that point, I thought that they were okay again.
Yeah, but she's been being really not nice to him in these chapters, considering that they're supposed to have moved on and got over it. She's being pretty catty.
Yeah. I don't blame her, to be honest, but yeah.
No, that's because we're not over it.
Oh god, never.
So this is where your prediction comes true. Xaden and Violet can talk in their heads.
Woo!
So happily,
yeah,
it appears to need to be consensual. I don't want somebody reading Violet's thoughts without her knowledge. Like, I can't be less angry at Xaden for that than it would have been at Dain for reading her memories.
But I don't think at this point we know if he can read her thoughts completely, or if it's one of those things where, like, he can hear, like, her inner monologue. Do you know what I mean?
Difference?
There probably isn't any, to be honest.
You sound like Xaden's lawyer.
I am trying to protect him.
Yeah. You're like, hey, look, we don't know, okay? Maybe she was throwing those thoughts at him.
Yeah, I mean, he clearly doesn't have any control. No, but I think when I first realized, it felt more like he was throwing the thoughts out towards her, and then she had to, she unintentionally had to accept it.
Once he'd opened the door, she could choose to close it again, like with Tairn and Violet and Tairn and Andarna.
Yeah.
Great. But also, that says to me that she has to choose to open the door too. So he's not been reading her thoughts up until this point. Is that what we're saying? Because to be fair, all of this came from your sense that he was already reading her thoughts.
Yeah, so from what I understood of this bit is he's wanted to try to see if they could speak to each other, but he hadn't tried it yet until then. So I don't think he's been listening to her thoughts, but I'll take the prediction being correct because they can communicate.
It was correct.
Yeah.
I found myself wondering whether he was inntinsic at one point.
Yeah.
But we haven't had anybody say that you can have more than one power at this point. So I was like, and also, he's very good at hiding it if he is. Very good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've been trying to stay away from spoilers really badly, so I'm hoping that I don't see anything about, like, Xaden having a second power. But technically, Violet has two.
Yeah, but she's got 2 dragons.
True.
I've assumed that everybody only has the one. And so I'm gonna continue to assume that.
Yeah.
Because this makes more sense, what you predicted here. So we're going to say up until this point that he's not been reading her thoughts, but they can communicate.
But they can, imagine oh my god. I just thought about, you know, when, like, you're in an argument with your boy.
Yeah.
This is an argument that I've had with my boy, basically. And he was like, well, you need to tell me how you feel. I can't read your mind. Hello. Yeah. You could. Like, if it's one of those things where, like, oh, I really need him to do the dishes, you just let him into your mind, you know? That's the kind of, like,
Whoops.
use of my power.
Did I think that out loud?
Yeah, oh no, sorry. I forgot to shield you from my brain.
What am I like?
Silly sausage.
Happily, we've had that confirmed. I also didn't realise in this chapter that nobody knows what Dain's signet is, supposedly. I thought everybody knew.
Yeah, so did I. I was really confused by this.
Sure, after you shouted it in front of everybody when the whole thing with Amber happened, it's like, yeah, no one knows.
Yeah. Let me touch your face, bitch. Yeah, no, I thought that was really weird. Because I also was confused about the fact that he didn't know Xaden could basically wield shadows. I was like, everyone knows at this point. And then he starts gets the shadows creeping from under the desk. And then Dain is like, what?
I know. Oh my god, I can't believe this. Sudden
oh no,
turn of events.
Shadows. Yeah, to be fair, I realized, obviously I knew he was powerful, but I didn't realize he could, like, shield.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
Importance.
Same, Dain, same.
Dain is Dain.
I.
Same wavelength.
I know, I accidentally gamed there for a minute. Also, why is Dain not telling anyone what signet is, eh? Why would he not want people to know that?
I think that's the school thing, you know? I think that's, like, the school being like, no, you are an asset. Like, the school doesn't want him to be at risk of being, like, I don't know, abducted by a griffin or a dragon. Or like,
I assumed it was because the school wanted him to be able to use those powers on people without their knowledge if they decided they wanted him to.
Oh yeah, you really thought about this, haven't you? I hadn't thought about it like that, actually.
We've already established I have zero trust of pretty much anything in this book. Right down to, like, the foundations of what this school is built on. The lies, the law. Are we the good guys? Can we trust Xaden? Can we trust Dain?
We can't trust anyone at this point. It's all messed up.
Jack's the good guy.
Jack is dead, babe.
Is he?
Oh my god, imagine.
We'll get there, we'll get there. After this tragic display of testosterone, Mira tells everybody off, which is great, and rightly so.
Oh my god, I absolutely love that.
Mm-hmm. I know you wanted to talk about her argument with Xaden.
Yeah, I think it's just important to note when she goes off about, because obviously Mira, as the big sister, is worried about what Violet's life is going to be like, because Xaden is a third gen. He will be flying off to the sunset with Sgaeyl. And clearly, if the dragons can't stay away from each other for more than 3 days, that eventually is going to be a pretty big problem. So when Mira sort of basically points that out, I absolutely loved Xaden being like, I'm the one that's here. Like, I came to her. And I thought that for a brief moment, we get a little glimpse at, like, how, not bending over backwards, obviously, but he's, like, adapting to the fact that Sgaeyl and Tairn are obviously bonded, and he now needs to think. He's thinking of someone else and not himself. Whereas I think so far, everyone around him just makes it seem like he's very selfish and doesn't think about anyone else. But obviously we know that he's actually very caring. And I feel like this is the first time where other people get to see that.
I think we get to see in these 5 chapters just how down bad Xaden actually is for Violet for the first time.
Yeah. It's honestly, it feels like a complete switch. And I feel like this moment when Mira was going off on him, that was kind of like the moment where we really realized that actually Xaden is, like, into it.
Well, that and the bit before where he starts to flirt with her telepathically in public.
Yeah.
Like, what's happened? What happened? He really, like, royally friend zones her the moment that she wakes up in the hospital. And then, like, the moment she wins squad battle and he comes to meet her, it's like he's just not even trying to fight it anymore. He's done. And now he's pushing for it. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not gonna be posed. I'm not opposed. I'm just saying, like, what happened, Xaden?
I know. I really wish we get some form of POV in this case, because I would love to know. We've been left with loads of questions once again about what happens when Xaden isn't in the room, basically.
Yeah. That's so true, actually. That's a really good point. I will say that after these 5 chapters, I do trust Xaden more.
Yeah.
Like, at least I trust his feelings for Violet. But it's obvious that he's still hiding a lot. And I kind of wondered whether in that moment it wasn't so much about what he was hiding, but maybe that he's worried that if Violet finds out some of the stuff, she won't want to be with him anymore.
Yeah. It's part
agree?
it's part of like my overall prediction for the end. That
Okay, cool. All right, I'm excited. So at this point, a load of Griffin riders arrive, making this officially not the safest place they could have come. And Xaden and Mira force Violet to leave. Next chapter, it's been a couple of days. Violet is waiting every day outside Markham's office to hear any news about the outcome. She receives confirmation that Mira survived. I just put down here as a note, Dain touches her in this scene. Just thought I'd note that.
Yeah, I put that. Yeah, I highlighted that as well. I was like, oh no, stay away.
I can't guarantee that I'm going to catch every single time, but I am trying to make note of when he touches her.
Yeah.
Xaden admits his feelings.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Finally, and he says that they've grown over time. I kind of thought that they were there before he states they were present, but we can forgive him for maybe being not so aware of his own feelings in the early days.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think he realized how he felt. And also, he probably like started with a lot of hate towards her.
Yeah. Difference between you're fit and I like you.
I was gonna say, Violet. Is there?
Actually, that's a good question. I don't know. No, I think there probably is. Maybe at least, I don't know. At least for me, I could see somebody who's really attractive and then be completely unattracted to them the moment they open their mouth.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Then yeah.
Definitely happens.
Yeah.
Violet learns to talk back to him telepathically in this scene, which is great. Yeah. Violet finally gets her power at War Games. She has the power of lightning and she immediately kills Jack with it.
It's been such a long time coming, and also I got really scared when I was because I was reading this, but also I was messaging you, and then I sent you a GIF, and I was really scared because you didn't say anything to the GIF, and then you were confused about something else that I'd said.
I'd read it before you.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I'd been confused. Maybe it's because it was just out of context, and I was like, "What are you doing?"
It was because obviously, I was like talking in memes. So I was like, what is happening in the House of Commons? And you got really confused because you thought World War III was breaking out.
Yeah, see.
And I was like, so I had to explain that. And
you didn't know the Kool-Aid phrase. And I didn't know the House of Commons phrase. So when you said, what's happening in the House of Commons, I thought something was actually happening in the House of Commons. And I'm not joking. I got my BBC News app out and I was like looking for what was going on in the House of Commons.
Oh God, that's so funny. I can just imagine him like, oh my God, am I evacuating?
The panic I felt. Oh, BBC News anxiety.
liking the episode. Let us know how we're doing in the comments below. But please, no spoilers. And don't forget, you can find us at don'ttell_theboys on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and YouTube. We're all over the place. Make sure to follow us to stay updated with your new book besties.
Good riddance to Jack, because he nearly kills Liam.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Also, actually, do you know what? I did go back and make another note. How did I forget to mention this? Tairn and his amazing saddle.
Stop, I thought that was so fucking cute. Like, so freaking cute.
He was such a dad in that moment as well, wasn't he? He was like, I hear it's the latest fashion. Oh.
So cute. Oh, I love him. I think he's so good. And I love that he can put it on himself, and he was like really proud of himself for being able to like make sure that he could put it on and off.
In relation to Tairn and his amazing saddle, did you want to share the results of the Threads poll that you put out?
That's literally what I was trying to figure out when I made that poll. First of all, if you don't follow us on Threads, you definitely should.
You'll get like a little sneak peek of where we're up to and our thoughts and feelings on that before you get each episode.
I had a thought and I was like, Tairn sounds hot as fuck. And it was just, it's not even like the way he sounds. It's like his little banter, his personality. And I was like, yeah, I would totally smash. So I put, I'm having
the deep echelons of the internet to ask the internet denizens whether or not you were crazy.
Yeah, basically, because I was starting to get really concerned. And also, let me just add that note, like, this isn't me freaking sexualizing reptiles, okay? This is a fictional book. Hold on, I felt like I just needed to, like, add a note, okay? That's like, not, what was it?
You're not, Thamy is not smashing real life reptiles. She is only smashing imaginary ones.
Yeah, real ones freak me out. Anyway, so I put... I'm having some weird feelings towards Tairn. Like, I would absolutely smash anyone else. Yes, no, maybe. And we had 63% say yes, 19% say no, and 19% say maybe. So
only 19% wouldn't smash Tairn.
Yeah.
Men are out there wondering why they're single, and literally 81% of women would choose an imaginary reptile. 10 is like really, really big for a dragon, right? Like really tall. It's like
very
noted.
Big dragon.
10 is like the dragon equivalent of the 6'5" MMC.
Smash. Double smash.
Everyone's just shipping 10 with anyone at this point.
Yeah. Just imagine a live action of Tairn. Anyway, I digress.
Reel it in.
Yeah, I got just smashed myself with my mic. That's how excited I got.
It's just Thamy smashing herself.
That's not podcast content. That's OnlyFans content.
Right up there with the jarred farts and the odd socks.
Yeah, and everything else. Oh my god.
This merch store could build itself. Back to the power and the killing of Jack. The little note I wrote here was just, is she going to give someone some cool scars at some point? That's all I cared about. But also, like, yeah, I was so wrong. I was so wrong about her power. I guess I basically just said it's going to be something really completely pacifist in the last one. And I just, you know what, Rebecca, hats off to you, because I fell for it. Yeah. Hook, line, and sinker. You had me there.
Well, I do want to say, I thought it was really interesting how her power is like lightning and she can break things, considering how breakable she is. So then it makes me wonder, in Xaden's power, why does he have the ability with shadows? Like, what about him? Is it because he's like dark and mysterious? It can't be that simple. Do you know what I mean? And also Dain, like, why can Dain literally see inside your brain?
Like, why is that the core of his being?
Yeah.
He just wants to, honestly, he's the social climber of the piece. Like, maybe it's the Maybe it's the ability to snitch.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I like
what is it?
Deep down, you can't trust him.
What is it about Xaden? Is it the being able to hide things, the mystery, the secrets, or is it just the absence of light? To which
Oh,
lightning is just light energy.
yeah. Yeah, because I was thinking about this. Obviously, they're like polar opposites. He's darkness, she's and together they,
Do loads of this.
yeah, occasionally.
Next chapter, chapter 29. Violet won't celebrate the win. She's having an identity crisis, basically, because she's questioning what her power says about her as a person.
Yeah, and I think at that point with any of the kids that once they bond and they get to that stage, I think any of them would be questioning. Obviously, if they were a good person like Violet is, it annoyed me a little bit, to be honest, because I was like, you just killed the guy that has spent the last year trying to kill you. What are you moaning about? Like, he was literally on his way to kill you. Why can't you just be happy that you got there first and you survived? Like, what makes
we
you
all
think
were.
that you would? Yeah.
Not killing anyone was kind of like her final act of rebellion after having been thrown into that college against her will in the first place. Like, I know that she's started to think of it as home, but it's obviously become a real thing for her that she's trying never to take a human life.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a fool's errand. I don't know how long she thought she could keep that up for. Like, even if she made it all the way through all 3 years without killing anybody, was she really never going to kill a single person? She'd really wrapped up the fact that she'd never killed anybody into her sense of self and her identity in that moment. And now the fact that she's finally done it is making her question everything about herself. That's how strongly she'd put that part, like that quality, at her core.
Yeah. Yeah. It's what makes her as a character so likable as well, I guess. To that point, that she hadn't killed anybody. But then it leads on to better things.
It really does.
Much better things.
So she's sulking in a room, and Xaden comes to try and comfort her. And the next chapter starts with them having sex.
Woo!
Finally. The slow burn is at an end. What is it, like 500 pages in?
Yeah, it has taken way too long to get to this. Also, can I just add, I stopped at the end of the chapter where they kiss.
Yeah, I don't know how you did that.
And then I didn't read until about 10 p.m. the next day. And then I could not put it down. I was like, oh my God, it's happening.
Yeah, we only had one chapter left. I got to the end of chapter 29 and I was like, I knew in my bones, I was like, this is happening now. So I was like, I have to read chapter 30. It was great fun. They utterly destroy the room.
Yep.
Both of them lose control of their powers and use their powers by accident.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how crude to get here.
What do you mean? Why?
Well, I can literally describe it. Like, I could be like, he fingers her on a desk.
Has to go in the cold open. Just do that. Fingers her on a desk.
Then he fucks her against her wardrobe and then her curtain, which she sets fire to. And then they finish on the floor and he destroys her training dummy.
Whilst also surrounding them in shadows because her lightning powers are just hitting the whole of the school because she's about to orgasm so freaking hard.
Yeah, right. Like she like lightning strikes every time she comes. That's so funny. When you say it out loud, it's so funny.
I really wish that it was like that of like an ethereal experience.
The boy touched my arm earlier when he walked past me while I was working, and I gave him a static electric shock.
Oh.
So same thing.
Basically. Do you want me to order you a spare curtain now, just in case?
Yeah, just in case. Same, Violet, same.
Next day delivery. Amazon, please sponsor us.
No time to waste.
Same day delivery if possible.
If for any reason I end up sulking in my room later tonight, I'll message you.
Sulking or soaking?
Sulking. Starts one way, ends another.
Right. Anyway.
Blimey. Do you know what this did tell me, though? Getting back to analysis, Xaden's powers can cancel Violet's out.
Again, opposite attracts.
Does it work the other way around?
Probably. She's not tried it, has she?
No, but I'm just wondering, because Xaden's shadow powers are kind of weird, because it's not just darkness. Like, his shadows actually are able to, like, interact with things, and they've got substance. Like, he could probably punch somebody in the face with a shadow fist.
Oh, no, because now I'm just having, like, so many thoughts about Xaden, Violet, and his shadows.
What?
Do you think a three-way with them would work? If Xaden can, like...
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It technically wouldn't be a three-way, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but, like, he can create, not obviously himself, but another form.
He could create 8 arms if he wanted to.
Oh my god. I'm absolutely pissing myself.
Oh. I'm actually crying.
No, because I'm going to get into bed. No. I'm not going to get into bed and think about this.
Too late now, you said it. Freudian slip.
Yeah.
Oh no. The moment I get to bed now, I'm just going to be sitting there thinking to myself, Thamy said she was going to get into bed and think about this.
Oh, I can't even, like, deny and be like, no, I wouldn't.
Yeah, well, now I've ruined it for you now, because now you're going to get into bed and think, Jessica knows I'm lying in bed thinking about this.
So funny.
Help.
This was going to be my special alone time. But now Jessica has ruined it.
No, setting the curtains on fire for you.
No.
Right, I feel like we finally get to the moment where we are given a reason that we can trust Dain in specific context. Like
Dain or Xaden?
Xaden. Oh my god, I'm Xaden. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Because but what I mean by trust him in this context is Navarra can trust him, or like the side that Violet's on can trust him, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is the story of the scars on his back. The thing that will effectively mean that he is going to try and hold all of the separatist kids to be loyal to the Kingdom of Navarra.
Yeah, and I definitely understood that correctly, right? Like, if they basically go out of line, it's his life that's on the line.
Presumably, if anyone finds out, they've stepped out of line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He's obviously still got loads of secrets. Like, I'm not...
Yeah.
We know he's doing things he's not supposed to be doing. His feelings are really genuine. Like, he's not playing her where his feelings are involved.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can trust his feelings for Violet as a result of this 5 chapters. I had some highlights.
I'd be so upset if this is the moment that, like, we find out later on that he's betrayed us or whatever. I would be heartbroken. One thing for me, and I think it was like one of the only few things that I actually highlighted towards the end of these group of chapters, was him saying, "Don't fall for me."
That is what I highlighted too.
I remember putting down and being like, why is it so cliche that like the male character, when he eventually gives in to his own feelings, he's like, no, but you can't fall for me. Like, I'm gonna have sex with you and we can probably do this again, but I don't want you to fall for me.
I mean, he was being a fuckboy in that moment, but I don't think he was trying to be. When she was sleeping, he tidied her room up.
Yeah.
Left, got her violets.
Yeah.
And put them in a jar by her bed before leaving again. I mean, unless they were right outside her window, which I doubt, then he had to go leave and come back for that without waking
Imagine
her.
him just like using his shadows to like pluck flowers out the window. Yeah.
He's like, nailed that. Yeah, that was actually no effort at all. I'm such a fuckboy.
That's why I was confused, because his actions aren't matching his words.
No, and this is why I'm still kind of like not trusting him. Why would he be worried about her getting hurt?
Because she shouldn't trust him.
That's definitely the theme we're being given here.
Yeah. Oh, this is I feel like this is gonna be like a gut-wrenching betrayal. Ugh. If it does happen.
So you're like fully on my side now with this end of book prediction.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Professor Carr arrives to train her literally first thing in the morning, so it's definitely a good thing that Xaden did leave and not stay all night after all. She is able to trigger her powers first by remembering sex with Xaden.
I thought that was hilarious. And hold on, it was Tairn's reaction to it. Ground in your power and try to feel whatever it was you were feeling. He goes back to his notebook. Should I get the wing leader? Tairn flat out laughs in my head. Shut up. It was so funny. It was so funny.
Yeah, so Violet and Professor Carr have their first like really detailed interaction, which I think is very interesting. So she brings up the subject of inntinsics and the fact that Carr just kind of cold-blooded murdered Jeremiah when he manifested into. She also thinks of the hypocrisy where that's concerned when it comes to Dain's powers as well.
Yeah, I have a question, and I know we've spoken about this in the past, but I want to bring it back because we're getting to the end and we don't really know much. So Dain's power.
Yeah.
Right. What if Dain doesn't need to touch you to read your mind?
What do you think? Dain is inntinsic?
Yeah, but that's what he says, so that basically he wouldn't die.
Yeah, I had these same like questions when I was entertaining the idea that Xaden might be. I wouldn't discount it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing that I stick on when it's both Dain or Xaden is you see the way Jeremiah reacted when he manifested his powers. Like he was totally out of control. So in order for somebody to hide them, they would probably have had to have either had that initial manifestation alone and then be able to get themselves under control, or they'd have had to have been in company of somebody who would help them hide it. And presumably, assuming you're only allowed one power, if it's Dain, he hid it in a very clever way, but then you'd have the question of how do I hide this power without, because people are going to expect me to have one. I can't just seemingly never have one and not explode.
Well, maybe that's what it, like him saying that, no, I can read your mind, but I have to touch you. It was just, I wanted, because we're reaching towards the end, I wanted to bring it back.
Okay.
But also, I thought this was adorable but important. There's nowhere in existence you could go that I wouldn't find you, Violence. I thought that was a really important quote, and I will come back to it when we get to predictions, because I haven't had one for the last 2 episodes. I really wanted to come ready.
Yeah, because I want like a proper end of book prediction from you this week.
Yeah,
this is the penultimate episode. So.
I've got it.
I'm ready. Do you want to go first, or shall I?
Oh my god, have we got to that bit already?
Yeah, we've reached.
Let's go so quickly. We got it so quickly. Oh my god. Right. Okay. Prediction. I think it's getting to a point now that we know that the wards are really weak, I have a feeling that the wards are going to come down. They're not going to be able to put it back up, and all hell's going to break loose. Like
Where?
a war.
At Sgaeyl?
Yeah. Like, or around, or on one of the outposts. Start on, like, near one of the outposts. The Griffins and whatever else is going to invade. Meanwhile, Violet finds something out about Xaden that he's been wanting to keep it a secret. She runs away or just doesn't want to see him. She's either going to get captured or something's going to happen and she's going to get taken. And that's why I highlighted that quote about him being able to find her. I think her mum is probably on the evil side. And I think Dain will probably join the evil side too. And
What do you
I'm
mean by
hoping,
evil side, though? Like, what sides are we talking here?
like,
Because in the war, it's still dragons versus griffins.
yeah. But I don't think it's just like dragons. I think it's the people of
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay. I know that the dragons play a massive part in like defending whatever they're defending. But I think there's more to it. Could not tell you what, but I think there's more to it. I think
Okay.
the humans in this case have definitely got some form of involvement. And it'll be really nice to see Violet and Mira be reunited again, and them sort of like standing up against their mum. That's my rough prediction.
Okay. Nice. All right. My first prediction is going to make you laugh a lot. I have gaslighted myself to such an insane degree where Jack is concerned that my prediction for this time is that he's actually not dead.
Right.
I hate myself.
Yeah. I love that you spent the entire book being like, no, he's dead. Like,
Yeah.
next chapter, it's him, he's dying, and now
Do you know
you want to
what?
bring him back.
Yeah. I had a prediction for his death every 5 chapters, except the last 5, where I was like, I guess he's going to be around a while. And then he gets killed off in this 5. And my fucking paranoid ass thinks that he's not even dead this time.
It's
Like,
so funny.
Jack is just gaslighting me to an insane degree. And he's not even real. I don't think he's dead. Did we see a body? No.
He fell under rubble because the lightning like exploded everything.
Yeah.
That's what
She didn't look. She refused to look. She didn't see anything.
Unless the dragon like found its corpse, because obviously the dragon like wailed and freaked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like honestly haven't
yeah.
thought about the details of
It's
this
a
at all.
possibility.
Yeah. But all I know is usually when you don't see a body, it's because somebody's not dead.
True. Yeah. Okay, that's a good one.
I haven't really got like another proper end of book prediction. I'm really sticking with my old one because I don't have anything better. So
yeah.
Even though I think that there are holes in it, it's not airtight at all. I still think that I'm gonna have to go with the best one I've got, which is that the book will end with Xaden's reluctant betrayal of Violet, and she'll realize that he is 100% capable of hurting her without physically touching her. And I guess though that the biggest, most obvious hole for that for me is that Tairn and Sgaeyl can't stay away from each other. So it's not as if he's going to actually leave. I think that there's not going to be any prolonged distance between the two of them. So whether or not it ends with us not knowing how that's going to work, or whether or not it maybe ends with a betrayal that she's for some reason has to keep secret and hates him for, because that's the only way. Yeah, like I don't know. That's the only way I can kind of like reconcile that feeling with some sense of actual logical outcome, given that they can't stay apart. Like their dragons can't stay apart for more than 3 days. That did lead me to a very interesting question about my theory, though. Again, like this is why I'm questioning it a lot. Xaden's secrets. How much do Tairn and Sgaeyl know about Xaden's secrets, because theoretically Sgaeyl would know everything, and if Sgaeyl knows everything, Tairn knows everything too. Like, the only way that this would work is either Tairn is keeping secrets from Sgaeyl, which, to be honest, seems a kind of unrealistic undertaking, or all three of them are keeping secrets from Violet.
I think it's a bit of both, because there's been bits throughout the book where Tairn says that he doesn't trust Xaden. So I think, yeah, I don't know.
That's still the overarching end game prediction I've got. I've got a couple of not predictions, but just like musings.
Okay.
I had a question, which is, oh, actually, maybe this is kind of a prediction. So it started with a question, which was, do you think anybody saw them stop time? Because we know that Rhiannon saw something, and then Violet was able to explain it away, but Dain was there, and he didn't ask her a thing. But he did touch her after the games.
Yeah.
And her memories would have included the full picture. I've got a prediction that Dain has figured out that Violet has this extra power from that, and that he's going to tell the higher-ups about Andarna, and that Xaden and Violet will have to defend her against capture and experimentation.
Oh. I had forgotten that Mr. Dain, his dad.
Daddy Dain. Can't believe you didn't call him that first.
Father Dain.
Yeah.
I forgot that he mentioned that they wanted to study Andarna.
Yeah, I don't know. That musing kind of snowballed into a new prediction, but again, I don't know what predictions I would say would happen at the end of this book, if at all. Would they happen in later ones? I don't know, because I know that there's more. So if something doesn't happen, instead of just going, oh, I guess it's not happening, then my brain goes, is it going to happen in the next one?
Good shout though, good question, because now it's just going to make me wonder. I can't believe we're now up to the end of the book. That's my god. I can't believe
left.
I know. I can't believe how well we've done.
I know.
Season 1 is almost at the end.
I've
so I
really
guess
enjoyed it.
It's been really so good. I think this was probably the best idea I've ever had.
I'm so grateful to anybody who's been listening along, on all the people that have talked to us on threads, and especially grateful to all those people because they've been so good about not spoiling anything. We've had so many conversations online and still left those conversations absolutely none the wiser.
Yeah, I'm really grateful. It's been so good. I can't wait. I'm actually really sad as well that we're finishing the book. Really, really sad.
And so I'm so happy there's 2 more.
Yeah, I feel like that's the good thing.
So
yeah, I
next
guess
episode, chapters 30 to 39. Wait, 31 to 39. And that'll be it. And then maybe we'll have a special at the end to round it off. Who knows? Maybe.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for listening.
We'll see you in the last one.
Oh, why does it feel like I'm about to say goodbye?
Bye.
Bye. Join us as we read and react to Fourth Wing for the first time. Find out if I loved it, if Cheska hated it, who's hot, who's not. We'll also be doing other fun things like character rankings, fuck, marry, kill, would you rather, and answering your questions. Follow us across social media at don'ttell_the_boys. And finally, please rate our podcast after you decided you like it.